Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you very much for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. We're taking another look here once more at Bitcoin, seeing what's going on. Still holding strong at this 107K range. It does feel like we're going to continue a bit higher based on this momentum and consolidation at this area and liquidation long delta being so high. But just want to bring this to your attention in case you didn't already know. Bitcoin dominance is just rocking. In other words, it's killing altcoins. This is once more the effect, not the cause, but easy way to understand it is 70% is our high. We've double topped their previous cycles, and at this point, I think we're probably going to continue to see altcoins bleed out and inevitably hit their bottom at some point soon. But between now and then, it's just not a great condition to consider longs on alts right now. Okay, so please understand that. Bitcoin too, I'm considering leaning more towards a short, as I mentioned previously, at about 108 to 109K. I was sleeping, of course, when it kept peaking up above 108,000. And at this point, I'm still looking for an entry in that range. So that's kind of the goal. But if we see something that's different, or perhaps, telling that we may shift that momentum or continue higher, then we'll observe that. But don't forget to hit the like button, folks, before we get started. Appreciate that. And we'll go ahead and see what we can do here. If you do want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is a site link down below. Future reference too, there's a new promo going on with Bitunix this month. It just started today. So make sure that you jump on over and get this taken care of here. It's easy to register. All that information is on my Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Okay, so it's all there for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump on over to the back-end liquidation data. 109K roughly is that local area of liquidation. That's kind of like the concentration that you can see from most recent, right? So last 7 days, people are shorting. They have liquidation events that could occur in that area, or their stop losses are there too. Furthermore, though, 111, as per usual, upwards of about 114 to 116 are those lower leverage, heavier concentrations of liquidation. So they're starting to pile up in that range, which could incentivize the price to continue higher, especially if we break our descending trend here soon. Liquidation long delta is super high right now. You generally don't want to try to short against this. This is one thing kind of telling me not to take a short just yet. Mainly because it's too much, right? We got way more people trying to buy than sell, and it's just not really ideal or optimal situation to try to short, even though it seems very tempting. What we do want to identify, though, is that this has been overextended for about 2 days now, or this is about 2 days worth of continuation in the 20 billion or higher range. Generally speaking, if this continues for 3 or 4 days, you're usually going to see some capitulation. So today being Thursday, I feel if we're still in this range, we'll see the same exact thing tomorrow, then it seems like shorting makes like the most amount of sense, especially leading into a weekend. Having said that, though, open interest is right here at about 106K. So it does emphasize a lot of support between 104 and 106. So if you do end up shorting, make sure it's a tight short and you secure profits on that trade, and don't try to run it to zero, because I think the probability of going under 100,000 again is pretty low. That it took a significant fundamental catalyst to get us down there. So just something to be mindful of. Take a look here at the daily time frame. We're above all moving averages. They're kind of hanging out there at 106K as well. Our point of control is at 105 as a close approximate. So those are all emphasizing support ranges. So my goal is either to short 108 to 109K range down to 105, and then consider flipping long at that point, right? Or just, if the price pulls back now, 105 to 104K seems like a logical consideration for a long, just based on heavy confluence in that area. MACD's converging. We're over 50 in the RSI. We're over on moving average here. There's a lot of confirming factors in the daily time frame saying that we should not we should go higher, and further downside is less likely at this point, especially after pivoting down here with high volume for that baseline there. 4-hour time frame also reflecting the same thing, heavy confluence at 105K. Stochastic is starting to swing down, which is standard and normal for this situation here. We've bounced off at 70 in the RSI, and MACD is starting to diverge. So these are early signs of momentum shift, which should be occurring here soon. So once more, I think I'm just going to hold my guns there. 108 to 109K seems like a practical place to consider a short, but it's going to be a tighter short. It's not going to be a super liberal one. Once more, securing profits below or between now and 105K. While the price may continue lower than 105K, and manipulation is a standard thing in this kind of situation here, what we're expecting though, and this happens a lot with bullish type of flag patterns, they typically, before they break out, they usually retest the halfway point. And the halfway point right now is a point of control. So we're more likely than not to kind of bounce off 105K if that is the next area of retracement. So just be aware of that. All right, that's kind of what we got there. This is mostly good stuff, though. Should be excited. It's hard to be excited, of course, with altcoins that are just bleeding out, while Bitcoin's like on a tear. It's a weird thing, but once more, it's very standard considering the overall situation. Till we hit 70% on Bitcoin dominance, I'm pretty sure altcoins are going to continue to bleed out. And what do you think is going to happen if Bitcoin pulls back right now, too? Alts are going to kind of hemorrhage here. So I think it's probably best to lean more towards shorting alts and possibly Bitcoin this weekend as a short-term correction, and then pivoting off that 105K range. All right, cool. Hopefully that makes sense. I described it correctly. Once more, join us over on Twitter, Telegram, or Discord, or if you want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is a site, link down below. We've took some nice profits here on Bitcoin, 40%, SCI 90, and ETH 62. Those are some longs from a couple days ago. And once more, potentially shifting gears here soon. Just try not to be too early on your short position if you're considering one. Okay, have a good rest of your day. We'll see you next one. Take care out there. Bye-bye.